A big trend in divorce for 2026 is the gray divorce. You're going to be hearing about this more and more because it really is on the rise. So, first of all, what is a gray divorce? A gray divorce is somebody who's getting divorced who's 50 or older, or their marriage has been 20 years or longer. That's technically what we're calling a gray divorce. And it's the reason it's starting to catch on with so much attention is because of how many people are getting divorced in this age group. So back as recently as the 90s, about 8 to 9% of all divorces were in that category of 50 or older, 20 plus years. Today, it has gone up to 36%, up to 40%, depending on the different study that you're looking at. So that is a huge increase. There's a lot of different theories why it's becoming so prevalent. A lot of it has to do with society, the way society's been changing, the way the culture's been changing. In the old days, marriage was really how women often survived financially, because as recently as like the 1970s, we couldn't even have a credit card without our husband's permission. Women couldn't own a home. There were so many different things that really made women rely on a marriage in order to survive economically. And back then, it was like divorce really wasn't an option unless there was no other option. But as women have gained their independence and women have gained in their careers and have become so much more self-sufficient, the way that women look at marriage now has really become a function of fulfillment, personal fulfillment. And as you guys know, any of you that have been close to middle age, that is just a natural time that we often take a look. We take stock. We look at our lives and we ask the questions about what do I want out of my life, because we get halfway through it and we know we only have a limited amount of time and health left. And do we really want to spend more time with this person or in this marriage that is no longer fulfilling us? And so I think those two things together, really women becoming more economically independent and not needing to depend on men to survive in that way. And then also seeing marriage as something that serves personal fulfillment and taking stock of that at midlife really has now led to this huge increase. And I'm really fascinated by it because I am turning 48 this year. And so I'm definitely getting close to 50 and being part of the gray era. And I'm going through my older two children going to college, leaving the house. I have a grandbaby on the way for the first time. And so I identify with people that are in this time period, this midlife time. And what I find really fascinating is people who are seeking a gray divorce are different than couples that seek divorce who are younger. What we're finding is the gray divorce folks, they don't want to fight. Again, it comes back down to that finite time left, finite health, finite resources, because a lot of people in midlife, they're focused on protecting their retirement accounts and making sure that they're not wasting $100,000 out of their retirement fighting with their ex-spouse in a divorce. So their outlook on this is very different. Often the children are older. There may be adults or getting close to adult ages. And so the dynamics present are still important and still need a lot of care, but they're not the same as the younger kids. And so it's just a whole different variety. It's a different type of divorce. And it's one that really speaks so well to our curated divorce method and the way that knowing that most gray divorces they're probably going to have some complex financial issues that need to be addressed. That's going to be a big component of being able to protect retirement, being able to have a budget for their post-divorce life that leads them into still investing for their retirement if they're not quite ready to retire. So there's those elements that need to be addressed with the right financial professionals getting involved. Maybe not so much focus on parenting because the kids are older, the kids are out of the house, but still having at least an eye towards still keeping a good relationship so that graduations, weddings, grandbabies, all of those kinds of things down the road are still pleasant for everyone, but it's not maybe the centerpiece. And so having a curated divorce for your gray divorce is literally perfect. I'd love to sit down and talk to you about the different methods and the different processes that are available to you. A collaborative divorce can be ideal. We can do a mediation for you that really just brings in one financial neutral to help us navigate some of those issues. It's a really great time for you to examine the different issues so that we can get you done because, again, time's limited, right? And so we want to get you past the divorce phase so we can put that behind you. You know what you're working with, you know what you need to do to be protected for your retirement. And then you're moving forward in this next chapter of your life, whether you're empty nesting, reinventing yourself, going through perimenopause. Trust me, we've all been there. We're all going through it with you. And you will find that you've got a bit of a family environment when you're working with us, that we're here to help you through this process because we understand it and we want to help you reach your goals as quickly as possible. And again, keeping those costs down. I think those are the main factors, is the sensitivity to not wanting to waste a bunch of money on this process. Most people that are in their 50s, they've cottoned on to the fact that a lot of this legal stuff is BS and they're not going to want to make the lawyers richer because everybody always says that nobody wins but the lawyers. So let us help you find the right process to get you past this point with some dignity. Also, most of the time you've been married a long time in a gray divorce. And so you owe each other a process that protects your dignity, that honors the life that you built together, and also is very discreet and keeps things private. One thing people don't know is traditional divorce, everything is filed in the court file and all of that's public record. When you look into the alternatives that a curated divorce can provide, we're able to keep your issues private. And so that's one of often people going through a gray divorce, very high concern. You've had a very established career. You may be well known in your community, and you don't need all of your business out there for anybody to look up. And so those are the kinds of things we're sensitive to with our gray divorce clients. You know, one of the things I feel my heart really goes out to my clients who are the gray divorce, because I know that when you reach this point, this is not the ending that you had in mind for yourself. You really thought if you've been invested in this marriage this many years of your life, you were going to end up married for the rest of your life. And now that isn't going to happen. And that's really difficult. But again, I think we see that. And so we're going to help you look at this as, how is this an opportunity to really reclaim your life and write a whole new chapter for yourself that maybe you never even imagined? And doing it not by dragging you through court for years and hundreds of thousands of dollars wasted, but doing it through a process that helps you find yourself again, helps you get a little hope back and look forward to your future rather than dreading it. But I think understanding that we understand how sensitive this time is for you, and we're really here to honor that for you and to help you through the process.